Hello and welcome to episode 11 of the Breaking Yarn podcast. My name is Mikaylee. I'm from Albuquerque, New Mexico. I'm a knitter, crocheter, and yarn dyer. Today is Saturday, June 19th, 2021. You can find me online at breakingyarn.com or anywhere on social media at Breaking Yarn. Thank you so much for joining me today. I have 3 finished objects for you. Oh my gosh. It was a time of getting stuff done, getting knit done, right? I have 3 finished objects to share with you, 2 whips, and a giveaway winner from last episode. Yay! So let's just jump right into it. The first finished object that I have to share with you today is the Mesa Verde Cowl. This is a design by Krista. She's Knitty Knits. And this is an amazingly fun cowl that uses 2 stitch cable. So those are actual cables going up the cowl. This is really fun. It was super engaging. It was extremely easy to follow along with, and exciting to see it shape up as it worked up. So for the yarn, I used Swish DK in my gray matter and breaking black colorways, and 1 skein was enough for both of them, with some extras left over. I still probably had about half of a skein left of the breaking black, which is the contrast color. And then I had probably about a 1/4 left of the gray matter. So I have some scraps for another project now. But I love this. I don't know exactly when it's coming out yet, but I will let you know when I find out. Maybe make sure you're following me on Instagram, because that's probably where I will talk about it when it releases. And yeah, I think it's really fun. I would put it on, but it's really hot, and I don't want to do that. Also, Krista taught me a while ago, I think it was probably in one of her Instagram videos, where she had talked about blocking something that's circular like this, because you don't really want those like harsh crease lines. So when you block it, you can add dowels, like dowel sticks, into it, so that it doesn't have like a fold crease, and instead it's just more of a rolled crease. So I am putting a blog post about how I did that with this cowl specifically on my blog, and I'll link that down below in the description box for the video. So be sure to check that out. So that's my Mesa Verde cowl by Krista of Knitty Knits. My second finished object is my Share a Pair socks. I finished both socks. This is yarn by Mandy's Makings, and this is the Mardi Gras Share a Pair set. I did matching heels, toes, and cuffs, all in this gray color. And then I did 3 rounds of the purple, 1 round of the gray. I wanted to make sure I would have enough to do matching for them and not cousin socks, which is where they match, but they're not identical. So I did that. I used the pattern and tutorial by Kay of the Crazy Sock Lady, how to knit socks on 9-inch circulars, or for vanilla socks. So that's what I followed. I did 64 stitches, and I did 15 rounds for the cuff, 50 rounds for the leg, the heel flap, heel turn and gusset, and then I think I did 85 rounds for the foot before I started the toe. And I had used a US 1mm on this sock as recommended in the pattern. And they fit, but they are a little like snug around, like more snug than I think I would want on like an everyday sock. So I will talk about what I'm doing on my next pair of socks to kind of change that up a little bit. But they fit. I blocked them and everything. I don't have sock blockers yet. It's on my list of things to get, but I will get some, and then I will take fun photos of them on sock blockers. I'm trying to think, what else? Oh, I shared this pair with my friend Leah, and she made cute little shorties with a fun like ruffle as the top part, and then a really cool like lacy pattern on hers. So it's like so cute. She also did her cuff and I think her heel and toe in the gray as well, and then the whole foot was just the purple and not like the gray stripes or anything. But I loved how these turned out. They're pretty subtle stripes and I like that a lot. How much yarn did I have left? I was really curious and trying to manage how much yarn I would have left at the end of this set, because I wasn't sure, you know, was I gonna run out of the gray? That's why I did 3-to-1 ratio on the stripes with the matching heels, toes, and cuffs, because I wanted to make sure I had enough. And I did. I had about 7.5 grams left of the purple and 15.5 grams of the gray. So I actually had more gray left than the purple, even with doing heels, toes, and cuffs all matching in the gray, and then the 3 stripes to 1 stripe ratio was enough to use up the majority of that purple. So if you're curious in doing a pattern like this, then you know you probably have a little bit more give to do maybe a longer cuff or a little bit of longer leg, and you'll still have enough for your socks. So those are my share pair of socks that I finished. And my last finished object is my Playtime Shawl. Here it is in all of its glory. This is a pattern by Natalie of Knitty Natty. It's a crochet shawl. This is my first time crocheting a shawl, and I had a lot of fun doing it. And it was kind of nice to break up all of my knit projects with something crochet, because it's just a different feel with just one hook and some yarn and you just go for it. So that was kind of nice to have a crochet project going as well. But here's what I did. I used pink teddy bear and lily of the valley in my sock fingering base, and it worked out beautifully. I used the lily of the valley for every crisscross section. I felt like it really showcased the section better than if it was in pink teddy bear, because the crisscrosses are like the funnest part, I think, of the whole shawl. And I also did striping every other section. So I started with pink teddy bear, and then after the crisscross section I did striping, where I did every other repeat was a different color, and I just carried the yarn up the side. Pretty easy, and you can't even tell. And then I did another solid section, and then crisscross, and another striping section, and then another solid section. So it worked out perfect that it was every other, with the 2 striping sections in the middles and the solids on the outer edges. And I just love how this turned out. And then there has cute little like what do you call these, baubles at the border. I've never I've never done baubles with crochet or knit, but this is my first time doing crochet, and that was a lot of fun too. It took a while, probably like 2 evenings worth of crochet time, so maybe a couple of hours. And then I blocked this with a little bit of wool wash and my blocking mats and pins. And so yeah, that's that. I love how this turned out. And I can't wait to share these finished photos. I need to get some better photos. I took some last weekend, but I didn't really like how they turned out, so I might try to take them again. But you can even wear it like this. It really clashes with what I'm wearing, but just to kind of get an idea too of how you can wear a shawl. Yeah, so that's my Playtime Shawl by Natalie of Knitty Natty. I have two works in progress to share with you today. One is a new shorty sock that I've been working on. This. It is self-striping yarn. I did 10 rounds for the cuff in a twisted rib, which is really fun, just to kind of switch things up a bit. You can knit through the back loop and then purl normal, and it creates a nice little twist there. It's hard to tell a little bit in this mini that I used. And then I did 2 stripes, which is about 10 rounds. So I did 10, 10, and then the heel flap, I started the heel in the contrasting mini that comes with this set, which I'll talk about in a second. I've never used self-striping yarn before, but when I got to the heel, my self-striping yarn was on the opposite side that it should have been on, but I didn't want to like cut it and have to rejoin it to get it to where I wanted it to be. So what I did instead, I'm already improvising on socks and I'm so new at this, but I just picked up the yarn where the self-striping was, which was like over here, I think, and then just picked these stitches up first on my way over to the other side, or maybe it's this way. Pick these ones up on my way to the other side, because I didn't want, if I did it the way that I was supposed to do it, then I would have had this contrast color in the front of my stripes, and I didn't want that, since I didn't want it to break up what the striping looked like. So I just picked up the stitches early, I guess, basically, and knit around with the blue stripe, and then picked up the ones that I was supposed to pick up first last, and it was totally fine. Like, there's no seams or anything. You can't even tell that I did that. It worked out great, and I will do that for the second sock as well. So the yarn I'm using, this is a colorway by Pretty Twisted Yarns. This is called MK. It's a 75-25. I don't know what other. 75-25, and it's self stripes, as you can see. And it also comes with this contrasting mini skein that's like purple and white. Definitely more variegated, and so I'm using those on the heels and the toe, or the heels and the cuffs. And I'm trying to decide, I'm actually at the part where I need to start the toe, and I'm trying to decide if I want to end it in the self-striping or if I want to end it in the contrast. I'm thinking what I'm going to do is weigh this, because I didn't weigh it beforehand. I'm going to weigh it, see how much it takes for the heel and the cuff, and then calculate if I'll have enough to do the toe and then the second sock the same. So that's that. These ones do qualify for Summer Sock Camp 2021, so I will be entering these when I get them finished into the 9-inch circular cabin. That's what I'm using, 9-inch circulars. I have a Chow set, interchangeable set, which is perfect for when I have to switch to doing the toe. I can just add on another cable to do magic loop, and it makes it so easy. So that's what I'm gonna do. And I did the heel on the 9-inch circulars. I don't mind it. I like the way it feels and stuff. So yeah, I'm becoming a sock maniac. Oh my gosh. What are you gonna do with me? My last work in progress that I have to share is one I've shared before. It is my Beak Street Tee. Here we go. My Beak Street Tee, which is a color blocked intarsia sweater or a top. I don't know, sweater, top for the summer, I don't know. And it's in this book, Vertex Color Rock Projects by Knit Picks, and I'll link that down below in case you're interested in that, or just the pattern. You can buy just the pattern as well. And here is my progress. So last episode, I had just done the seed stitch bottom. This is knit flat and then seam together at the top. So this is my progress so far. It's like all the red, and then the striping is starting to work up. This is my first time doing intarsia, and it's pretty easy so far. It's all about just like how you pull the yarn and then bring up for like pull over your old yarn, bring up your new yarn. You just bring them up in a way that they twist together and close gaps, and it's like a seamless transition there. Here's the back of it too. So that's what that looks like. I am using my yarn. This is all quarter round fingering, and so I'm using, for the striping, Jane Margolis in quarter round fingering, Lily of the Valley in quarter round fingering, which is 100% superwash merino, and I'm using a new color that has not released just yet, but probably will soon. It is called Bleeding Out, and it's just a fun red, and this is the Jessie Pinkman red, so they match. So that's what I'm using. I am loving how it's working. Now that I have those 3 projects done, blocked off my needles, I plan to get a lot of progress on this done. I would like to wear it before it gets cold again. Yeah, and I'm really excited about how it's turning out, and I just love the stripes. Like, seriously love the stripes. Last episode I shared with you some sock yarn that I got from Zebra Yarns that matches this. It's black and white stripes, and it has a red mini, and so I'm excited to make matching socks to go with my sweater. How exciting is that? Oh my gosh, so exciting. Okay. Future projects. I have 2 future projects that I'm thinking about starting. My friend Leah that I did the share a pair socks with, she tried to get the share a pair sock sets for Mandy's Makings for June, and they sold out in like 2 minutes. They were in her cart and it just completely disappeared, and she didn't get them. So she texted me before the update and said, hey, would you want to share another pair? And I was like, yeah, absolutely. And then that happened. So she had the brilliant idea. Thank you, Leah. I hope you don't mind me sharing this, but she had the brilliant idea that we should each pick a skein out of our stash, split the skein in half, and then we'll send each other the half. So she's going to send me 1/2 of a skein caked up. I'm going to send her 1/2 of my skein caked up, and then we'll both have 2 skeins that are half, like the share a pair does, right? Because they're each 50 grams, and we're going to make our own share a pair set. So if you miss out on the share a pair updates or anything like that from Mandy's Makings, like find a friend, go stash diving, divide the skein in half, and make socks. It'll be great. So I'll show you the one that I caked up This is half. This is just a pretty tonal mint green color in my sock base. It's 75/25, and I actually pulled it from my experiment section because I'm surprised it hadn't sold yet, but it went perfect with one of the skeins that she has, so keep an eye out for that. I'm debating if I should try brioche socks. I think that would be the perfect way to use up 2 half skeins of yarn. Yeah, like evenly too, right? And I'll have to like play this yarn management game. So we'll see. I'll keep you posted on that if I decide to do brioche socks, and I'll show you what skein she is sending me when I come back next episode. The other project I think is I have this gorgeous fuchsia pink color in a slub base, which is a fingering superwash merino. It might have nylon in it. I can't remember. Or it might be 100% merino. I really can't remember. I'm gonna need to look that up, and I'll put it down here on the screen when I'm editing this so that I can add that information. And I have been having this idea. I've been trying out slub, just dyeing it a little bit to see here and there, to see if I like it, see if it's something I'd want to carry regularly in the shop. And I really want to knit with it. It was kind of funny winding it up because it has these chunkies, like these little, I don't know if you can see that. Like it's not smooth yarn, it has like these little chunks of yarn. And so when I was holding it to wind it, it was like chunk, 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 chunk. But anyways, so it's just kind of a funny winding experience. But I am hoping to cast on another Musselburgh hat with this. I just think it would make such a fun Musselburgh, and I really want to see what it would look like. I'm just going to casually cast this on and work on it here and there. When I just need something easy to work on, I'm going to work on this. So it may not be a regular, I don't know, maybe I'll show it on the podcast too, but it may not be a regular appearance. So that's my plan for this. I'll let you know how it goes. I'll let you know if the slub is good and how it knits up. I've seen some really cool like top patterns with it. I think Morgan of More Thunder has a shirt made of this, and someone else just put out one, but I can't remember. But anyways, yeah, so I'm excited to try this. Oh, Leslie Robinson just put out a shawl pattern that used slub. So that looks really cute too. It's a brioche pattern. Yeah, I think that's it. So I have a giveaway winner to announce from last episode. If you made it this far, thank you for sticking around. I pulled a winner this morning, and congratulations to Deborah Mulvey. I'll put your name down here at the end of the screen. If you would, please just email me at it's breakingyarn@gmail.com, and I will get your gift certificate out to you. It's a $25 gift certificate to my shop, breakingyarn.com. So thank you so much for commenting on last episode, and I hope to be doing more giveaways soon. A little bit of shop update. You can probably see I have this large gap in the middle here. I actually had a big old gap here too, because I had completely almost sold out of all of my fingering weight yarn in sock and in quarter round to a yarn store in Taos. So that was really fun and exciting, and now I'm working on restocking. I just got some more bare yarn last night, so I can fill in the rest of the gaps here with the sock yarn, and then I will I've already started dyeing up the quarter round fingering as well, and then I'll fill in any gaps that there might be in inventory. But so if my background looks a little more bare than normal, that's why. At least I have some sock fingering that I got dyed up this last week up on the wall, so it's not so bare. But yeah, I think that's it. Thank you so much for joining me today on episode 11 of the Breaking Yarn podcast. If you like what you see here and you want to follow along, please hit that subscribe button, the little bell if you want the notifications. One other thing I forgot to mention that is if you want to share your projects that you've made with my yarn, there's a Ravelry group it's linked down below in the description box. If you want to share your projects, you have the opportunity to be featured here on the podcast and on my social media channels. It also works if you knit any of my patterns in any type of yarn. You can share those as well, and I'm happy to share those. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a wonderful day.